This is my first time visiting a prison. I actually saw men who the world has written off, hold a book like it was their last hope.
The first person I noticed was the lady, the very young lady. I saw, what is this lady doing? She looks very young in a prison. But I kept my cool. We entered, and at a point, I noticed that the officers brought a baby, a young baby like 3 to 4 months, to this girl. And this very young girl with a baby in the prison. I couldn't take it.
I was amazed to discover that many of the prison officers and the inmates were faithful Afarians. The excitement on their faces when they saw us was something I will never forget. They started shouting, "Every day with God is every day in victory."
I've visited a few prisons, but my experience with the whole prisons was quite different. Upon entering the yard, I don't know, I felt very emotional. From where we sat, I could see their rooms, and they were very small, tiny, with their clothes hung all over. So one thing I asked myself was, how do they even sleep? Because there were many in there compared to the rooms and the compound.
The amount of money being spent on this wet train, it's something you can imagine. You know, we're already giving free books to campuses, from campuses to campuses, giving free books. And when we went to Ho, the purpose was to go to the university and then return. But when the prisons people called, our father was not hesitant. I remember that he told us that when it comes to the prison, we should give 5 books for free. So when he even said it myself, I was like, are we going to do that? He said like, yeah, we should give 5 different books.
When the prisoners were given the opportunity to lead worship, after hearing their voices, I was teary.
There was this lady who they appointed to give a vote of thanks. And the moment the lady started speaking, I could see this lady can really flow like the English. I couldn't stand it. So I cried a lot, especially when the officers brought the baby girl to the young. I cried. Oh.
Again, I was trying to hold myself, but I think I could only do that for like 5 minutes. I couldn't help my tears, so let me say my tears couldn't help me. I had to rush out of the yard. And one sad thing was when I was rushing out, one of the inmates said, "Oh, madam, men suwai." And that was very emotional. Like, I felt he even had hope.
One moment that really touched my heart was seeing the words, "Every day with God is every day in victory," boldly written on the walls of some of the prison rooms. But unfortunately, they didn't allow us to take phones and cameras inside, so we couldn't capture that and some of the memories. Some even asked for Alpha wristband because they wanted something that identified them with the family.
The inmates had options to choose whichever book they wanted, and that's so much money. That's so much money to be spent. In fact, when we're going there, when he realized we're going to the prison, he also sent a huge sum of money for us to get staffs for them. So we went there with full staffs, at the same time giving them 5 different books for free. And now if you see this kind of books, the printing, the quality of the printing, this is mind-blowing. This shows that this cause is a worthy cause. Anyone that is supporting this cause is not doing a harm to himself. I think God is in this.
Most of them already knew the books of Pastor Elvis Agyemang, and they knew the books that they wanted. I was praying in my head that God should direct them in the books they should take. And actually the books that some of them were taking, I really knew that was the book for them. And we really thank God, we thank our father, Reverend Elvis Agyemang, for giving the opportunities even to those in prison to have the word of God. God bless you, Daddy.
And one thing too was about this young lady, how he was really insisting about the I believe in miracle. That was her first encounter with the book. And she was really insisting that was the only book he wants. I really noticed that there is something, there is still hope for that lady. She still believes in a certain miracle. There is a miracle that she's still looking for. And I'm sure that book that our father presented will really help her a lot.
I remember the commander was telling us that one of the things he desires is for most of them to also read. And he was so happy that someone, a church, had thought about them to be people that can read. I saw some of them taking the marriage book. They were specific about it. They were taking the marriage books, believing that when they come out, those who are married can correct whatever they did wrong. Those who also want to marry can do better. And it was so inspiring when we saw that. And I am so happy about the life of our spiritual father, Pastor Agyemang Elvis, what his heart is after. And we thank God so much that he's investing these things into the gospel so that many people can be reached by the gospel.
The experience at the prisons reminded me that we haven't even begun to see the full impact of Alpha Hour. The impact of Alpha Hour cannot be measured by what we see at our events or our church gatherings. There are lives being touched in places we may never imagine. There are hearts being healed behind the walls of prisons. Only God can tell the extent of Alpha Hour or the impact of Alpha Hour and what he is doing through the set man of God, my father, Reverend Elvis Agyemang.
I had a conversation with one of the officers who said there are most of the inmates who can't read or write. But I told her that upon coming to the place, we said a prayer, which of course I also know is the heartfelt prayer of our father, Reverend Elvis Agyemang, that we are using the book as a point of contact for people who can't even read. Just by touching the books, their lives will be saved. Thank you, Daddy. Thank you, Mommy. God bless you for this initiative.